I lost my job, and she had a miscarriage on the same day. She told me to rest and recover. She said she supported me. But while I was sending out hundreds of job applications every single day, she was planning her exit. And when she finally left me for another man, she didn't just break my heart. She left me with $4,700 in debt under my name. Debt we accumulated together. Debt she walked away from like it meant nothing. This is the story of how the woman I planned to marry destroyed my life when I was already at my lowest point. I never thought I'd be writing something like this. I never imagined I'd be the guy sharing his story on the internet, hoping someone out there understands what I'm going through. But here I am, because I have nowhere else to turn.
My fiancé and I were together for 3 years. 3 years of building a life from nothing. When we first started dating, we had almost nothing. We were both struggling, both working hard, both dreaming of something better. And slowly, piece by piece, we built something together. Or at least I thought we did. I truly believed we had something solid, something real, something worth fighting for. I never saw any signs that she was planning to leave, not a single one, until it was too late. Late last year, in November 2024, my world collapsed in a single day. I lost my job the same day she had a miscarriage. The same day. I can't even describe how that felt. It was like the universe decided to hit us with everything it had all at once. It was absolutely heartbreaking for both of us. We held each other, we cried together, we told each other we'd get through it. We leaned on each other, or at least that's what I thought was happening.
My job loss wasn't completely unexpected. My employer had been trying to replace me for some time. I could feel it coming. The pressure had been building for weeks. I was already burnt out beyond belief. I was working from 7 in the morning until midnight, Monday through Friday, 17-hour days, every single weekday. My body was breaking down. My mental health was deteriorating, but I kept pushing because I thought I was building our future. After everything happened, after the miscarriage and the job loss on the same terrible day, she told me to take time off. She said I needed to rest, to recover. From December through January, she insisted I shouldn't rush into anything. She told me I was burnt out and I needed to heal. And I believed her. I trusted her judgment. I thought she was looking out for me.
But I didn't just sit around doing nothing. During those months, I never stopped applying for jobs, not for a single day. I was sending out applications constantly, desperately trying to find something in my field. I work in BPO, and I was specifically looking for work from home positions with decent pay, the kind of job she had told me she hoped I would find, the kind that would let me contribute financially while also being available to help with our life together.
Around February or March, I had a conversation with her. I told her I was seriously considering going back to on-site BPO work, just taking whatever I could get, being physically present in an office again. But she pushed back hard against that idea. She said it would be too difficult. She reminded me that I'd be commuting again, spending hours traveling every day on top of long work hours. And she said she couldn't manage our pets alone. We have cats, and she made it clear she needed my help with them. So I listened to her. I stayed focused on applying only for remote positions, even though they were significantly harder to get, even though my options were limited, even though the job market for remote BPO work was extremely competitive. I kept applying, every single day, hundreds of applications, rejection after rejection after rejection. But I didn't give up. I'm still applying even now as I'm living through this nightmare. I haven't stopped, not for one day.
Then came the biggest blow of my entire life, the moment that shattered everything I thought I knew about our relationship. She told me she needed to go back to her hometown. She said she needed to rest and recover from her own burnout. She made it sound completely reasonable, completely innocent, and I understood. Of course I understood. I supported it, just like I always supported everything she did. I trusted her completely. I had no reason not to. But 1 week after she left, I discovered the truth. She was with another guy. She had left me to be with someone else. While I was drowning in job applications and anxiety about our future, she was building a new life with another man.
When I confronted her about it, she didn't apologize, she didn't show remorse, She didn't even try to explain herself gently. Instead, she cursed at me. She made me feel guilty for even suspecting her. She threw her past in my face, reminding me how her previous partners had cheated on her. She made me sound like the bad guy for not trusting her blindly. But I never cheated on her, not once. I never even thought about anyone else. I was completely loyal, completely committed, completely faithful. I trusted her with everything I had.
Then she dropped another bomb. She claimed she'd been having problems with our relationship since December, since the exact same time she told me to rest, since the same month we lost the baby and I lost my job, since the same period she was supposedly supporting my recovery. She said she'd been struggling with our relationship for months, but she never said a single word about it to me. Not one conversation, not one hint, not one opportunity for me to fix whatever was wrong. And everything she told me after I discovered the truth contradicted what she used to tell me when we were together. Suddenly, our entire relationship was rewritten in her mind. Suddenly, I was the problem. Suddenly, everything we built together meant nothing.
Now I'm left with more than just a broken heart and shattered dreams. I'm left with $4,700 in debt. Debt that's entirely under my name. Debt we both incurred together for our shared life. But she walked away from all of it like it was nothing. Like those credit cards and loans and expenses we took on as a couple suddenly became only my responsibility the moment she decided to leave. And she timed it perfectly. She timed it knowingly. She waited until I was at my absolute lowest point, until I still didn't have a stable job, until I was already financially vulnerable and emotionally destroyed. Then she left me holding the bag for everything we owed together.
To make everything even worse, some of our mutual friends defended her. People I thought were my friends. People I had helped in the past when they needed support. They've turned their backs on me completely. Not one of them has stepped forward to check on me or offer support. They've chosen her side without even hearing mine. The loneliness is crushing. I think back to everything I sacrificed for our relationship. I sold my car before we moved into our small apartment together. We had no furniture, no refrigerator, just a bed, my PC, and her laptop. That was it. We ate instant meals because that's all we could afford. We applied for jobs side by side, supporting each other through the struggle. Or again, that's what I thought we were doing. I didn't complain about any of it. I thought we were partners. I thought we were in it together. I thought every sacrifice was an investment in our shared future.
Now I feel completely alone, utterly abandoned, and honestly, I'm at my breaking point. Some days I don't know how I'm going to make it through. The weight of the debt, the job search stress, the betrayal, the loneliness, it's all crushing me simultaneously. I know I've made mistakes. I'm not perfect. Maybe I could have tried harder in some ways. Maybe I could have communicated better. Maybe I could have done something differently that would have prevented this. But we were supposed to be a team. We were supposed to talk to each other when problems arose. If there were issues in our relationship, I wish he had just told me, instead of cheating, instead of planning her escape while pretending to support my recovery. Right now, I'm just trying to survive. I'm trying to get back on my feet while the ground keeps shifting beneath me. I'm still actively looking for work, sending out applications every single day, despite the anxiety and stress of unpaid bills piling up. Despite the crushing weight of knowing I'm responsible for debt that two people created, but only one person is paying. Despite the mental exhaustion of starting over from absolute zero after thinking I had built something stable. The shame of my situation is overwhelming. I feel like I failed. I feel like I should have seen this coming. I feel embarrassed that I trusted someone so completely who was planning to abandon me at my lowest moment. But I'm trying to push through that shame because I need help, and I can't do this alone anymore.
I've thought about what I could have done differently 1,000 times, but every time I come back to the same conclusion. I was loyal. I was supportive. I worked myself to exhaustion. I trusted her. I made sacrifices.
I was building a future for both of us, and none of that mattered when she decided to leave. The financial burden is destroying me. $4,700 might not sound like a fortune to some people, but when you don't have a job and you're barely surviving, it's an impossible mountain to climb. Every bill that comes in feels like another nail in my coffin. Every rejection email from a job application feels like confirmation that I'm never going to escape this situation. The debt collectors are starting to call, my credit is being destroyed, and she's out there somewhere, starting fresh with someone else, not thinking twice about the financial ruin she left behind.
What hurts the most isn't even the money, it's the timing, it's the calculation behind it. She waited until I was completely vulnerable, until I had lost everything else, until I was at a point where I couldn't fight back or protect myself. That level of cruelty from someone who claimed to love me is something I'm still trying to process. Our mutual friends choosing her side has added another layer of pain I wasn't prepared for. These are people who saw our relationship from the outside, people who knew how hard I worked, people who I helped when they were struggling, and they've all disappeared. Some have actively defended her actions, others have just gone silent. The message is clear. I'm on my own.
I don't usually share personal struggles like this. I've always been a private person, but I've reached a point where pride doesn't matter anymore. Survival matters. Getting through each day matters. Finding some kind of path forward matters. And if sharing my story helps even one person understand what I'm going through, or if it leads to some opportunity that helps me climb out of this hole, then it's worth the vulnerability. I'm trying to stay positive. I'm trying to believe that things will get better, that I'll find a job, that I'll pay off this debt, that I'll rebuild my life, that I'll trust someone again someday. But right now, in this moment, it's hard to see any light at the end of this tunnel.
If you've made it this far, thank you. Thank you for taking the time to listen to my story. If this resonated with you in any way, please hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. Drop a comment below and let me know if you've been through something similar. Have you been betrayed by someone you trusted completely? Have you been left with debt from a failed relationship? How did you survive it? How did you rebuild? We share real stories like this every week. Stories about betrayal, financial struggles, and fighting to rebuild when everything falls apart. If you want to see more content like this, visit our channel and turn on notifications so you never miss an upload. Remember, you're not alone in your struggles. Even when it feels like the whole world has turned its back on you, there are people out there who understand. There are people who've survived similar situations. And if they made it through, maybe we can too. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.